Alright, devlog for May 2023. This will hopefully be the last devlog I will make for at least the demo. The game has been fully playtested and it is honestly ready to ship. It is very stable. There are a few minor problems I still need to fix, but I'm only going to fix those after the game is on Steam. Not per se distributed, but I first want to just fully focus on putting the game on Steam before I fix the final bugs in the beta version. So I am currently working towards making a trailer, which is actually going along very nicely. The trailer will have 2 scripted sequences, and the first scripted sequence is already almost done, whereas I thought I was going to spend a lot more time on it. I won't be showcasing any of it because the name of the game is everywhere in the trailer, and I will not show the name until basically I publish it on Steam. So the moment I basically only reveal the name and how the game is going to be, the trailer, but everything at the same time. This is just because of the way copyright works. Like I've checked out how copyright works. So that basically the moment you publish something, that is basically when a name of your product is secure. Basically, like people can't steal it anymore. Because I've known that this has happened to other indie game developers where they're like working on a game and then the name of their game basically gets stolen because technically they had not yet published their game. Not that I'm that worried about it, but I shouldn't take chances. Honestly, the name of the game isn't even that good, but I mean, good names are kind of like impossible to get because pretty much everything has been taken. Like, we've kind of like gotten to the point in time in history where basically everything exists. Every name, every possible combination, every type of music, every type of movie, like kind of everything has already been made. So, which is on one part kind of disheartening. On the other hand, yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, let's just go to the secondary developer map. There's honestly no reason to go to the second development map because I don't really have much to show. What I've worked on this month is, I mean, there are a few things I can showcase. So, enemies, for example, can now hunt the player. So I can spawn in an enemy. So it has now spawned in the enemy, and enemies can now be set to a hunter mode. So they always hunt down the player, even if they can't see a. So he was. Yeah. I decided to not listen to that. So enemies can now hunt the player down. This is important for arena fights because in arena fights, it was very common for enemies to basically not be able to find the player. So, yeah. That's basically that. Another thing that I fixed was There were still problems with the movement. Character movement is honestly one of the most difficult things to do, and I've basically just made a hacky solution. Because I was still having problems. So, what I was having problems was the step up logic. So, the logic that in character movement that basically steps up things. I can no longer step up things because I've just disabled that code. Because that code was conflicting very hard with ramps. So ramps were basically not working properly because of the step up, but every time when I tried to fix the step up thing the ramps didn't work anymore. So it was just really annoying. So I basically just removed stepping up code so you can't step up things. Which is on one hand bad, but on the other hand it's also not bad because I never use steps I almost never use steps in my level design. I pretty much always exclusively use ramps because ramps are smoother and better than steps to use. So yeah, that is still a thing that I will fix eventually, but it's such a low priority thing, and because it doesn't matter for my game, because again, I use ramps everywhere instead of steps. It doesn't matter, so it's just much easier for me to just disable stepping logic and just not have to deal with all the bugs that come with it. So, with that removed, character movement is pretty much bug-free. What else have I done? I mean, really, I've mostly just been playtesting the game and recording the game, so I can also like just turn off all the UI elements. So for recording footage for the trailer, I of course didn't have any HUD elements enabled, so I also should disable the developer messages, and that's basically how I played the game. I do have like a tiny crosshair, I think. Yeah, the tiniest of crosshair, so I can still see something. You probably can't see it due to YouTube compression. But yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. how are things going to change? So again, what I'm doing right now is make the trailer, get the game on Steam, and then release both the trailer and the demo on Steam at the same time. That is basically the plan. And I really hope to do that this month. Unless there is something stopping me, I should be able to do it this month. So this is hopefully, like I said at the start, the last devlog, at least for the demo. And things will change from here on out. I will no longer make these long form devlogs once I have the demo out and I work on the full game. Because these devlogs honestly take a lot of time. And yeah, it's just, I don't think they're very interesting. And also, I will no longer be discussing like things that are worth discussing. I will just be making content, and if I just show all the content that I've made, I'm basically just spoiling the entire game. So there's kind of like no reason to do that. So I will probably every month from after I release the demo, I will probably make a small showcase of like a little one tiny thing that I've been working on, just to basically show that I'm still working on the game and just, I mean, keeping it going. Like, I've not yet missed a single monthly devlog, and I'm not planning on doing that anytime soon. These monthly devlogs have honestly been the reason why I may have been able to like keep up with the game myself. They're just a really important driver. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I have nothing really else to say because the game is done. The demo is done. If a few I mean, I could talk, I guess, about the things that I still need to do. So one of the things I still need to fix is recoil. So recoil is a lot better than it used to be in a long time ago. I talked about this in a devlog. I don't know which one. But basically the problem with recoil is that the recoil eventually settles at one point. Which makes it really easy. So basically this gun right here is overpowered, the crowd. The crowd is overpowered because it's really easy to just cool down. Wait for the recoil to settle on its final point and then just hold it there. What I need to do is I need to make it so the recoil actually swings from left to right. Like that. It needs to do that. I just need to figure out how to do that properly. Recoil is a fickle thing. It's very easy to screw up and cause weird bugs, so I have to be careful with that. What else is there to do? Also, enemies, I've not yet talked about this. Enemies still have a tendency to get stuck on each other. Well, there are some code in place to prevent that. Enemies still have a tendency to really get stuck. So I need to find a way for enemies to basically stop blocking each other so they have more room to move. So that's also, those are basically the two things that I need to fix before the demo is released. And yeah. And that's really it. So hopefully demo and trailer release this month. If not, then I guess I have to make one final devlog the next month. But it will be happening within the next 2 months, the release, 100%. So yeah, until then.